So this accident occurred in Edina. Our client was riding a motorcycle near the Interlaken Country Club and was coming around a turn, and an oncoming driver failed to notice, failed to see. I don't know exactly what occurred, but frankly, just didn't see our client well enough and ran right into him. Our client fell off his bike and sustained a very, very substantial ankle fracture that over the course of many years and dozens of therapy sessions, dozens and dozens of procedures, including surgical procedures, just did not heal properly. And unfortunately for him, the insurance company for the at-fault motorist was reluctant to acknowledge responsibility for the crash, and more importantly, was reluctant to acknowledge what sort of damage it had caused him and the pain and suffering that he had incurred as a result. So we were forced to pursue litigation against the at-fault motorist, and thankfully, after producing substantial amounts of medical testimony in terms of medical records as well as reports from doctors, we were able to resolve the matter amicably without having to go to trial. That case took at least 3 or 4 years, if memory serves, to resolve, in part because the injury never properly healed. And so the hope was that he would eventually reach the ending point, recover to the point where he was prior to the crash, but his recovery just never put him back to that place, and the longer and longer it went on, the longer and longer the case stretched on. The big issue in that case, in large part, was what kind of impact a bad ankle fracture has on someone. And in addition to the injured party, his wife was also dealing with the after effects. She had to do a lot of things around the house that she didn't do before. She had to pick up the slack for errands and tasks that her husband was unable to perform. And we also asserted a claim on her behalf as a result, and the insurance company had a difficult time understanding how that could have affected her as much as it did. But ultimately, again, we were able to convince them to a point that she needed to be compensated as well for her loss.